I was only 12 when I first heard the phrase, the galaxies that shouldn't exist. At the time, it sounded like one of those cosmic ghost stories my grandfather used to tell me. Tales of starships vanishing, or planets that moved when no one was looking. But years later, when I found myself staring through the viewing dome of the starship Odyssey, I understood it wasn't a story at all. It was real, and it was terrifying. We were 3 months into our survey mission, charting the outer fringes of mapped space. I remember pressing my face close to the glass dome, the stars glittering like diamonds scattered on velvet. But there was something wrong. Off in the distance, beyond the reach of our instruments, I saw shapes in the dark. They looked like galaxies, but not any kind of galaxies I had ever studied. They bent at impossible angles, spirals folding in on themselves, glowing clusters spinning in patterns that looked almost alive. Captain, I whispered. My voice shook, and I wasn't even sure why. Do galaxies move like that? Captain Reyes stood beside me, her arms crossed behind her back. She had seen 100 anomalies before. She wasn't the kind of person who scared easily. But when her eyes narrowed and her lips pressed thin, I knew this wasn't normal. No, she said quietly. Not like that. Our science officer, Dr. Liang, adjusted the instruments. The data came in scrambled, like someone had taken the laws of physics and crumpled them like paper. Galaxies colliding without energy loss. Stars igniting in the black void without fuel. Light itself bending in ways no relativity could explain. They shouldn't exist, Dr. Liang muttered, almost to himself. But they do. That was the first time I heard it. The phrase that would follow us across the stars, whispered like a curse. The galaxies that shouldn't exist. I wanted to turn the ship around. I wanted to go home, back to Earth, back to where the night sky was familiar and comforting. But humanity didn't come this far just to run from mysteries. We came to learn, to explore, to prove that no corner of the universe was beyond our reach. And part of me, the part that had always loved those ghost stories, felt a thrill deep in my chest. We were the first to see this. We were making history. The closer we got, the stranger everything became. Instruments failed. Our navigation systems glitched. One moment we were 20 light years away, and the next we were only 5. Space itself didn't seem to care about distance here. It twisted and folded, pulling us toward those impossible galaxies, whether we wanted it or not. I'll never forget the first time we crossed the threshold. It wasn't like entering a star system or drifting past a nebula. It was like stepping out of reality. The stars behind us faded into silence, as if we had left the universe entirely. In their place stretched a vast ocean of light, galaxies swirling in colors no human eye was meant to see. Emerald suns, sapphire voids, crimson spirals beating like hearts. But the strangest thing wasn't the colors or the shapes. It was the sound. Yes, the sound. I know space is silent. I know sound doesn't travel in a vacuum. But when we crossed over, every one of us heard it. A low thrumming hum, like the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. Do you hear that? I asked. Every crew member nodded, eyes wide, faces pale. Even the captain gripped the railing so tightly, her knuckles turned white. It's not possible, Dr. Liang whispered. But it's real. I didn't know whether to be afraid or amazed. Maybe both. Because in that moment, I realized something. The universe wasn't broken here. It wasn't wrong. It was different. Different in ways our tiny human minds could barely grasp. But we were here. Humanity was here. And that meant we had a chance to understand it. I thought of my grandfather's stories, of the way he'd always end them with a smile and say, "Humans are stubborn, kid. We'll stare into the dark, and the dark will stare back. But we don't blink first." As I stood under the impossible light of galaxies that shouldn't exist, I finally understood what he meant. The universe had secrets, and we were going to uncover them, no matter what waited for us in the dark. the closer we flew, the stranger the universe became. Our instruments jittered, flickering between nonsense readings. One moment we were 20 light years away, and then suddenly only 5. Distance had stopped making sense. When we crossed into the region, the night sky behind us faded like a curtain falling. In its place spread oceans of emerald suns, crimson spirals, and sapphire voids, colors no eye was meant to see. And then came the sound, impossible in space, a low, steady hum, like the heartbeat of the cosmos. "Do you hear that?" I asked. Everyone nodded, pale-faced, listening. We weren't explorers anymore. We were trespassers. Space here wasn't just strange. It was watching us. Galaxies pulsed in rhythm, with the hum, as if responding to our presence. For a moment, I felt like an insect, standing beneath a sky full of giant, curious eyes. Still, humanity doesn't blink. Captain Reyes stood tall, her voice steady. "Record everything. We're here to learn." I felt fear, yes, but more than that, awe. We were the first humans to see this, to hear this. Impossible galaxies, defying the rules, yet somehow inviting us deeper. Suddenly the ship shook, not from impact, but from the space around us twisting. A spiral galaxy ahead bent into a figure 8, then cracked like a mirror. Shards of starlight scattering. Our shields screamed against invisible pressure. "Hold steady," the captain barked. I grabbed the railing, heart pounding. It felt like the universe itself was testing us, asking if we belonged here. Dr. Liang shouted, "We shouldn't be alive right now." But somehow we were. Humanity was stubborn like that. We refused to shatter. When the distortion passed, a calm settled. And then we saw it. A galaxy shaped like a giant spiral eye, staring at us. Its central black hole pulsed in sync with the hum we'd heard. For the first time, I wondered if this was more than anomaly. Was it alive? Could entire galaxies be aware? Reyes whispered, "It's watching." A chill ran through me, yet I didn't look away. My grandfather's words echoed in my mind. "We stare into the dark, and the dark stares back. But we don't blink first." Days passed, or maybe hours. Time felt wrong here. We charted what we could, though the data bent like the light. Our ship seemed tiny, like a candle floating in a storm of impossible stars. Still, we endured. We mapped, we listened. Humanity had crossed many frontiers. Oceans, skies, planets. But this was something new. These galaxies weren't broken. They were different, and different meant knowledge. Each night I lay awake, feeling that hum inside my chest, like the cosmos whispering secrets we weren't ready for. Finally, Captain Reyes gave the order to turn back, not because we were beaten, but because we had enough. Proof, data, memory. As we left, the galaxies pulsed one last time, glowing brighter, as if acknowledging us. Maybe even respecting us. When normal stars returned to view, I felt tears sting my eyes. Humanity had looked into the impossible and survived. We had seen galaxies that shouldn't exist and lived to tell the story. And deep down, I knew this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning.